Villains, it's early in the morning, but it's late for us because Dougie Luiz rejoined the club last night. And you can see from the smile on his face and the quotes, his Instagram saying he's finally back home, that he's had sleepless nights before joining. What a signing and what a player that you want to get in through the front door at the club, or back in through the door at the club, especially with Tammy Abraham joining as well. And he echoed those same things, how he fell in love with the club. It can only spell good things for us in the future to have those two players that want to improve, that want to play for Unai Emery, that have seen how the team have evolved since they've left, and now just want to be a part of what will hopefully be a successful period for the Villa. But I don't want to jump the gun there. Tonight we have our game against RB Salzburg. If we win, we can secure top 2 in the Europa League, which means that we get home advantage in the second leg of the knockout stages, which would be amazing. It would be very beneficial, especially as we saw how difficult it was in the Europa Conference League when we had to play away. In the second legs there, games in Lille, Olympiacos, they were difficult to navigate on the nights. Now, I'll let you know what I think the team will be, but before I do, I'm going to pass you over to our summer signing, that Irish Villa legend, Dave Martinez-Dance. Dave.
Hello Villa fans, Dave from Talk of the Trinity here. As you can see, I'm trying something with the screen behind, so if this is coming through quite glary on the video, I do apologise. Just thought I'd give a few thoughts ahead of the game against RB Salzburg. Mixed emotions going on. If I thought at the start of the January window we'd have this week where we signed Tammy Abraham and Douglas Luiz, I'd think, well, good signings, reasons to be optimistic, because both have performed very well for Villa in the past. Tammy, of course, we were in the Championship, and it'll be a step up from what he's used to. Even in Besiktas, the Premier League is different to the Turkish Super League. That being said, there's obviously a lot of quality there, and someone who can generally come in and compete with Ollie Watkins or serve as backup to him, but good enough to start, as I've said before. So a really positive signing. And Douglas Luiz, we know how good he's been. We haven't seen the best of him at Juventus or Nottingham Forest. I think that's plain and obvious to everyone. Whether he can get back to the form he showed 2 years ago at Villa, well, I suppose that's up to him now. But the context of him arriving is the injury to Youri Tielemans, 8 to 10 weeks. I'm considering that John McGinn out from 6 to 8 weeks. And considering Kamara out until the end of the season. It's really, really unfortunate, and I think Tielemans is the worst of them all. Kamara's pretty bad, but now I was doing the maths and it looks as though he'll be back for the last 7 games of the season or so. So he might be crucial if we're still in it, but to be perfectly honest, I don't want to be negative, but I think our aspirations to perhaps win the Premier League have been dealt a pretty fatal blow by not having Tielemans, on top of not having Kamara. I know Onana, thank goodness he's back fit, and Ross Barkley due to start training with the team on Friday, as he put up on social media himself. So we do have some reinforcements coming in, but Tielemans, especially with John McGinn missing, it's just too much, I think. So we do have a bit of a cushion behind to 4th and 5th. Man United seem to have bizarrely picked up a bit of form under Michael Carrick. Now it was big games against Arsenal and Man City they won where you wouldn't expect them. Can they do it on a rainy Monday night in Stoke or wherever it is that the people go for those horrible experiences? We'll wait and see. But Liverpool still faltering. So we should hang on for the top 5 anyway. And fingers crossed we still have enough to keep Man United back and secure 4th, even with those injuries. Salzburg tomorrow, I think we should go for the win. If we finish in the top 2, we just make our journey to the final easier. It means we have the home leg, second leg, and if it goes to extra time, it goes to penalties, we'll have that Villa Park roar with us. So I think we go out and get the win. We could probably afford to make a couple of changes. We don't have anyone to come in for Watkins, so I keep playing Watkins. I wonder, could we bring in Evan Gessa? Maybe give Rodgers a rest or put him down to the bench. Keep with Jadon Sancho, maybe keep with Emi Buendia. Now, Unai Emery mentioned Jordan Hemmings in the press conference. Is this his moment? Is this his opportunity? I think it's worth starting him. Should we maybe think about resting Onana, seeing as though he's not long back from injury and we really cannot afford another injury in that position of defensive midfield. So I mean, but then if we bring in Bogard or Hemmings and Bogard a little bit light, it's possible. But again, maybe have him on the bench to come in. And defence, we can make another couple of changes now. Luca Dean in for Ian Maatson, fine with that. Dean, a lot of experience. Do we bring in Lindelof and give one of Konsa or Torres a rest? Maybe again, Torres hasn't been back for too long, so maybe put him on the bench. And then maybe Marco Bizot. So, okay, it is a change side. But I think it's still good enough to win, and we can still maybe bring in reinforcements for the last half hour, 20 minutes, if we need that goal to see us over the line. So, all in all, very mixed feelings. A great week last week in terms of results, but a very, very damaging one in terms of injuries and in terms of our title aspirations. I think that might put pay to them. But we should have enough, even with the changes, to get a win against Salzburg and get in that crucial top 2 position. So we will have home advantage in the second leg. Emery, I'm sure he has a game plan, and I'm every confidence it'll be 3 wins on the trot. We'll say 2-0 to Villa, but it might be tight up until the last quarter of an hour. Fingers crossed, up the Villa.
So there you go. That's what Dave thinks is going to happen in regards to the Red Bull Salzburg match tonight at Villa Park. I can't wait to get back into the Holt End. I know this is talk of the Trinity, but being the Holt End, watching the game, watching the team, hopefully seeing us over the line. Now, for me, I think that we go out there and we try to get that win because of the advantages that we're going to have. And unfortunately, we know that Dougie Luiz and Tammy Abraham and Leon Bailey won't be available for the match tonight. We have to go strong, but we also have to be thinking about Brentford as well. We've got that depth, haven't we, now with those 3 new additions, and they should be all okay to at least be on the bench at the weekend. We know that Leon Bailey will be, providing he doesn't get injured. So tonight against Salzburg, my team would be Marco Bizot in goal. Why wouldn't you put Marco Bizot in goal? He's been exceptional. Yes, you could argue that Emi Martinez is available. It's midweek, and he's our number 1. But Bizot has been fantastic. Does he become our cup goalkeeper in Europe? Lamar Bogard has to start, but I put him at right back. Give Matty Cash that rest. Andreas Garcia being out for 3 weeks. Bogard's the natural choice because you want those 2-man mountains. Victor Lindelof and Tyrone Mings in the centre of defence, and Tyrone Mings gets that captain's armband again, with Luca Dean starting at left back for us. A strong back 4 there. All of them can play out from the back as well. And we can play the Emery way. Of course we can. They all know the Emery way. 2 central midfielders, Amadou and Arna. Get him in that team. Let's build up a lead. You can then think about taking him off. Alongside him, it's been mentioned that we may see a first debut for the young sensation George Hemmings. Put him in there. Put him in. Get him just seen in the centre of midfield and passing that ball. He's got Tyrone Mings and Victor Lindelof behind him to talk him through the game. He's got Amadou Onana next to him to talk him through the game as well. I mean, it seems a no-brainer, really. Then, of course, that attacking midfield, and we put Jadon Sancho into the midfield. He's been exceptional. Go and throw him out on the left wing tonight. No, we'll put him on the right wing tonight. That's where we're going to play him. He's been doing really well on the right wing. Put him there. Morgan Rogers out on the left wing, getting him to cut inside. Hopefully we can take him off. If we're doing well, we can bring on Jimo Aloba. That would be fantastic experience for him again. Or Caden Young, my wild card. And I know it's one of those where, but you've got to worry about the appearances. We don't want to trigger buying him. Harvey Elliott. Put Harvey Elliott in the camp. Rest Buendia. You've got the opportunity there to play a very good player who can get on the ball. Give him a run out. Give him 90 minutes. We're not going to play him again unless we absolutely have to. And I highly doubt he'll get to the 10 appearances. 5 of those do have to be in the second half of the season, which could happen. But put him in there, let him have 90 minutes. Let's see what he can do. You never know, it might turn Liverpool's hand then to say, we'll remove that option. And then that's another player that we've got that we can utilise over the rest of the season. And of course, we need a striker, but it's not Ollie Watkins tonight. No, it's not Brian Macho either. It's not Rory Wilson. It's not Caden Young. Who is he? Are you putting Brian Little up front? No, I'm not putting Brian Little up front. He's not registered to play. That's why. Evan Gassond. He's played more as a player behind the strikers, but we know that when he began at Nice, he was a striker there. He's powerful. He's scored a couple of goals in Europe already. Give him a run out up front. If it's not working by half time, you bring Ollie Watkins on. And then we've got Tammy Abraham who can come in at the weekend if we need him to. But, you know, Watkins, fantastic the other day, played a lot of games, scored that vital goal against Newcastle. But let's give Gassond some confidence. And with that in mind, this Red Bull Salzburg team are going to be no walkover. It's not going to be a walk through the park, even if we had our strongest 11 out. So it will be one of those matches where we have to be really switched on and playing that Unai Emery way. Let's go for a 2-0 Aston Villa win. And we're going to see Amadou Onana bag a goal. And do you know what? Seems he loves scoring in the Europa and he hasn't scored at Villa Park yet. Let's go with Evan Gassond. Evan Gassond to score the second goal. None of those things might happen, but that's fine. You know, if we win, or as long as we win, that's the main thing. Get those top 2, and then we can focus on the weekend, getting back to the Premier League, having a couple of weeks where we've got a rest in the middle of the week. That'd be amazing. But it's looking positive, villains. It's looking positive. If you haven't already, we'd appreciate you subscribing to the channel. We're hoping to hit 200. It seems like a low number, but it means a hell of a lot to us. Drop a like on the video if you like the content. 1 would be amazing. If you'd like to comment, tell us what you think the team should be. Tell us what you think the score will be. Tell us your opinion. Tell us what you think we're wrong with the team selection or with the scoreline. We love hearing your opinions. No opinions are wrong. That's what football's all about. It's about bringing people together. Until next time, though, cheers, tar. Thank you very much. Up the Villa.